So who wouldn't want to learn the highest income skills? Trick question, everybody does. But what are the most valuable skills that you can possess in 2023? Let's face it, everyone wants to make the most amount of money possible in the least amount of time. So I wanted to cover some of the highest income skills that not only have I used, but have also seen other 7- and 8-figure earners use. Now, this video idea actually came from a comment on one of our videos that said, Aaron, there are so many online businesses out there, Amazon, affiliate marketing, SMA, what should I start? And if I was to put a ton of those businesses on screen, these are what most gurus are preaching on their courses and products and YouTube videos. But what they fail to mention is that in order to really see success with these businesses is you need to possess all the skills that you see at the bottom of the screen. Right now, in this current digital age we live in, these skills make the most sense to learn. And the best part is you can learn all these skills right now if you're interested. Now, before we go over these skills, if you want to see my free masterclass about the one skill that I use to create financial freedom for myself, check out the link in the description. So skill number 1 is video editing. Now, this one is really close to me, super near and dear to my heart, because back when I was 9 years old, this is how my entire online journey really began. I always loved making home videos with my brothers and gaming videos and things like that. But one day, out of nowhere, I was like 13 years old, and one of my YouTube videos, it popped off. It was a video of showing people how to find their Wi-Fi passwords. Of all things, it was very random. And at the time as well, I didn't know what YouTube ad revenue was. But YouTube sent me this form. I asked my parents to sign it. At the time, I didn't know, but it was a tax form. And they said,
hey, we're gonna send you money.
Now, back then, that was really the only way to make money with your videos, is to put them on YouTube and just hope and pray that it got in front of the right people. And then at a certain point, after thousands upon thousands of views, you get paid. Fast forward about 10 years, there are tens of thousands of businesses right now that are in a desperate need of video editors. With the rise of content creation and social media, every single business and brand, they want to go viral. They want to be able to say, hey, that's me, and get their 10 minutes of fame. And then you have the other side of the online businesses like Valuetainment with Patrick Bet-David or Alex Hormozi. They have massive teams that are creating dozens, if not hundreds of pieces of video content for them on a daily basis. We're talking 60 to 70 video editors on a single team because these business owners know that it's all about how much they put into it. It's a matter of time before one of their videos, they put it out, catches steam, and it produces revenue for their business. And I mean massive numbers. And because of that fact alone, you being an income generator, on average, businesses will start a video editor paying them $3,000 to $4,000 a month with massive upside potential. Last year, I brought on a video editor, and because of their skill sets, we started them at $15,000 a month because, again, he'd done a ton of stuff like this in the past. You can negotiate bonus structures. One that I've seen in the past are things like, make an extra $100 for every video that gets over 20,000 views. So instead of just getting stuck at a base pay for, years on end, and maybe you get an extra 50 cents a year, you are incentivized to make more really good content that actually performs. The better you get, the more money that you're gonna make at the end of the day. And you can honestly look at it as unlimited income potential. Now, before we move any forward on this to the next skill, I need to call something out that you're probably thinking. And you're probably thinking,
why in the world would these companies pay me that much money on a monthly basis?
And I get it 100%. That's where I started. In order to run a successful business and scale that business to a point where they're making hundreds, if not millions of dollars a month, they need the skills that we're talking about in this video. So as a business owner, they have two options. Number one, they can go out and learn it themselves, or number two, they can find someone else to do it for them. They understand that it makes way more sense for them to just find someone else to do it for them because of the opportunity that is lost if they wanted to go out and try to figure it out themselves. And a lot of times the person that's focusing full-time on that skill is going to get infinitely better because the business owner has a million things to worry about. So jumping into skill number 2 is copywriting and really just marketing as a whole. The statistic goes that 80 to 90% of new businesses will fail in their first 3 years. And I'd say a massive reason of that is because of their marketing. All marketing and copywriting is being able to convey what you do through media and through your words. So if a business can't grab a customer's attention and help them make a buying decision, they've already lost. You can think about this process in 3 steps. Step number 1 is the marketing and advertising and copywriting. Step number 2 is them expressing their interest as a consumer. And step number 3 is the sale. And if a business can't even get them from step number 1, they are going to go out of business because where do they get their money from? Their customers. If they can't get more customers, guess what? They're not making money. So here's the thing. If you can be that person that comes in, helps them not only get in front of more people, but convert them into a sales call or an appointment through your words, through your good marketing, you are going to be an absolute gold mine to that business. And make a ton of money. Similar to the video editing, let's say you set up a compensation structure that you get a base plus a percentage of whatever comes through the ad that you wrote through the marketing campaign, of course, that you did from beginning to end. If you have a marketing campaign that goes crazy, we are talking massive commissions. And I've heard some marketing directors starting at $70,000 to $100,000 a year, starting at that point, not considering any of the compensation, bonus, commissions, anything like that. Now, don't quote me on that. That's not a guarantee, but the potential for your growth in your income as well as the impact is just absolutely insane through marketing. Now, this last skill I'll touch on is, I'd argue, is the most valuable. And if you learn this skill, you could be making doctor, surgeon money by just implementing this skill. And that skill is sales or remote closing. Now, you might have seen this remote here, but here's how I'm gonna explain to you how valuable this is. So we have this remote. Think of this as video editing and content. Think about this as marketing. What's gonna happen if I put this on the back here? Nothing's gonna happen. Why? Because there's no batteries. These batteries, in my opinion, signify the importance of sales within the business. Without sales, you can have the best marketing, you can have the best remote, you can have the best video editing and little door that keeps the batteries in, but without the batteries, you are not gonna move anywhere. And without sales, a business is not going to grow and they're not going to hit the full potential that they need to. So the way that remote closing works, at least in the high ticket space, is I'm sure you've seen a ton of companies that run advertisements on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, all those platforms. Well, on the other end of those ads is something called an opt-in. This is where you click on the advertisement, it's gonna bring you to a video, and the only way that you can watch that video is if you put in your information. And after all of that, you were given the option to book a call with a person on the other end of the ad to buy a specific product. That's where you come in as a remote closer. You are the person that's having the conversation with them to get them across the finish line and actually buy the product. But let's give an example of what this product could look like. So let's just say the ad is something like, learn how to lose 20 pounds in 60 days with this workout plan, program, whatever. Because the person has the intent, right? They're interested in that ad. They're more than likely going to want to have a longer conversation of exactly how they can lose those 20 pounds. So again, when they go in and book the call, they're gonna book it with you if you're the salesperson or remote closer, and this is how that transaction is made. Now, one of my favorite parts about this though, and I've been doing this for 3 years, is that this is not traditional sales like car sales or insurance or anything like that, where you're not really connected with the other person and you're just trying to make a quick buck. No, these are transformational type programs where you are helping better that other person's life by selling them into that program.
It's more of like a leadership based approach, in more of like a transformational sale instead of like a transactional type of sale.
And that's where I look at sales as my job is to impact people, help people, and really show them what their true potential is.
On the same weight loss example, let's say that the person wants to lose that weight because of some sort of medical problem that they're facing. As a byproduct of you bringing them in, you can be the person to help them with that medical issue, coming into the program, losing that weight, and then just being a catalyst for them changing their lives. Now, the reason you are seen as such a valuable asset as a remote closer is the business owner inevitably will get to a point where they no longer have time to physically sit on these conversations. And again, that's where you swoop in. And when you take those calls for them, you are gonna make on average about 10% of every single call that you close. So for example, let's say the program is $10,000. You're gonna make $1,000 every single time you close a deal. Usually the calls will last like an hour long. So when you break it down, you're making $1,000 an hour. Disclaimer, that is not a guarantee. This is just an example. Now, here's my promise to you. If you dial in one of these skills and you work towards learning all of them at the end of the day, you will never be in a position where you don't know where your next paycheck is coming from. I get people reaching out to me on Facebook and Instagram every single day because they know me in the industry and they're like,
hey, I will pay you $30,000, $40,000 a month to come in and do the same thing you've done with your company into my company. I will pay you that right now, cash.
And obviously I love what I'm doing. I love the company that I'm with, and I'm never leaving. So back off. Now, if you want to check out a full masterclass of the 4 steps of how I use remote closing to get started in this industry and absolutely change my life, you can click the link down in the description below, first link there, or you can click the video on screen to learn more about remote closing in general with some of the other videos on our channel.